Hey y'all, this is Astrid the Horror Girl. I'm she, her, I'm a trans woman, and I love running Dementium 2. This is a bit of a tutorial for the speedrun for the game. So, we're gonna go through it and mention all the little skips, all the little bugs, all the little interesting things that you can do to do your speedrun for when you want to attempt it. So here we go. First of all, game is new game on easy. You can just right click through the opening cutscene and it will take you directly to chapter 1. So the first thing you do is you look at the postcard on the bed there. You right click to grab it, right click to get away. That's pretty much how we look at everything, is right-clicking really fast. And that is pretty much the first action to start the game. We want to start crouched because there's a little spot to crouch into right here. That comes down, and the speedrun you want to try to avoid going into that, because you can get through it pretty quickly. First thing you do is jump over this and grab the knife. It spawns this enemy in here. Most enemies you can get by and get around. It's a little bit tricky with these dudes just because of where they spawn is kind of in this little way, so you can't exactly slip on through. You kind of have to fight them when that happens. So we come up here and we just keep clicking until that disappears. It was trying to play a cutscene there. We don't want to watch cutscene, we want to go fast. So that right there was a transformation, changing things into a new world. It goes back and forth between like the demon world and this world. When that happens, you can try to right click to make it go faster. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we want to run through here. Enemies like this, almost every enemy, we can just run right past them. Just run straight through there. Come on down here. You can, if you want, to grab the health there since they're on the way. And now we're gonna run past everyone in here as well. Again, no need to fight them since they're pushovers and they can't catch us. So this is the first big sort of glitch in the game, and it's incredibly important. Once you run through there, you want to grab the adrenaline syringe. Once you have the adrenaline syringe, you want to get positioned by this save point here, the save mirror as the game calls it. Pull up your inventory with tab and go to use this. This is going to happen pretty fast, so I'll break it down. We equip that, and then we go over and save. Now, before we run out of adrenaline, we load the save, and now we have infinite adrenaline. You can see in the bottom left corner how we have our health bar, that's full, and we also have our adrenaline bar, and it's stuck at that specific amount, because once we reload a save, before the adrenaline meter has gone out completely, we will have infinite adrenaline. Adrenaline makes us go faster, and it also lets us do a little bit more melee damage, so all useful things in a speedrun. So let's say you've done that, you're now here. If you're worried about health, you can come over here and grab the health that's there, but you certainly don't have to. If you haven't been hit at all coming in the way through, you probably don't need to grab those. If you do the run and you find yourself struggling for health later, you might want to pick those up. So now we come to the puzzle. So this door has this puzzle here. It basically works exactly like this. You want to get this stack the way that it looks over on this side instead. But 1 can only go on 2, 2 can only go on 3, etc. This is how the pattern goes. Just like that. So now we skip this cutscene and do this boss fight. This boss is kind of a pushover. You just want to stab him until he dies. Good RNG involves him not jumping onto the ceiling. You almost kind of want to stand on top of him so that he ends up lifting you up with him when he goes to run. And that's him dead. We skip through the cutscene. And what we need from here is the pistol, and most importantly, the security card. We come back over and come out. We're gonna go back to the knife because we don't really want to kill with the pistol. It's not as fast as just using the knife. When I come behind these enemies, I try to get them on the side or directly behind them as they spawn. That kills them faster than hitting them directly in the front of their body. And once this last dude is killed, then the symbol on the door will disappear, and we can go on through. There's one last guy here. When he is dead, we want to take off this direction, past this door. We can open it because we have the key card. Now we run through here and go past everyone that we would run into. Again, these dudes are pretty easy to run past. No reason to fight them. It would just slow us down. So now we come to this point. We want to jump over that and go over here. Once again, past these guys and run into this hall. Turn right. Go through this door at the end. This will take us outside. And then we're gonna run through this door, and at the very end over this table is a hammer. This hammer will unlock these boards whenever you see them, producing another route to go through the game. And just go past all the enemies you see. There's a fly swarm there that we also ran past. Gonna want to come back past that guy, over the desk into this room again, knock down this pile of wood, and crouch underneath here. I'm picking up the pills that are there. Quickly run past this dude before he has a chance to fully spawn and hurt us. And run down these stairs. You can save here if you would like. It will restore all of your health if you took a lot of damage on the way here. But it will take time. So I think we have plenty of health. We're gonna go on through. You'll pick up the flashlight here. It will switch back to your knife because since it is one-handed, it will take up the hammer. These dudes, if they run into you, will teleport you into a fight. So we want to try to get around them when we see them. There is a route to avoid all of them. It's a little dark right now. The game anticipates that you need to use the flashlight. But hopefully there's enough light that you can see, and when you learn the route well enough, you don't really need the flashlight. You can just kind of go off of memory what these turns are here. Gonna jump over those pipes and turn left. Turn left here again, past this guy, jump over the pipe, and run down into here, and keep on going straight. Now we're gonna turn left. I'm already readying my hammer for a full strike to get through these wood blocks. We crouch and go under there. Unfortunately, sometimes the ground there, the boards will merge with the ground. They'll get stuck and you can't fit through them. They'll go away eventually, but it will slow you down sometimes. Run past all these enemies that are in the cave, past this little brain dude. And then this will end the first chapter. You're just gonna want to crouch under here to go forward. This is going to produce this little blue floating dude. He is unkillable, and also he's easy to run past. Here you might want to grab some pistol ammo. It is important. Again, you can save if you feel that you need to recover. But this is an interesting save point, and we will come back to it. For now, we're going to have out our hammer, since we will need it to break down some boards later. I want to run past over here into this blue door. And this guy will be in the way. There are several ways past this. I find it faster to just crouch jump over those boxes, but some people find it is easier to kind of hug the wall and walk around the boxes. Also from here, what you can do is go into this door. If you choose to do this, you're going to want to run upstairs. And there's a shotgun on the wall here. I do not think the shotgun is necessary to win, but some people have found that it makes it easier, so we're not going to take it. Instead, when you come over those boxes, you come over here, smash these boards, which are in the way currently, and go on over there. Run past and around the table. You can jump on the table too to get past, and then jump around that little hole to not run into that dude on the ground back there. Now there's this box. This puzzle looks complicated, and when you first go into it, it might seem that way, but it's not. The mouse control can feel weird for it. It may look awkward as well, but basically you start with this symbol here, this dial, and you turn it to meet this. That also turns this, but then you grab this one and correct. This one will also adjust. You start with the bottom one in the right, but then this one affects none of them. Just get that set up, and it opens and brings you this relic. That's all we need from this area. So we're just gonna jump off onto the ice and run back. Now, I mentioned that save earlier. This time we're actually going to use it for an important speedrunning reason. We're gonna save here. Go through the door. And we can use this door now that we have the relic that we found. Now here, the solution they want you to use is to go through that hole, and there's a little tunnel and it comes around, but that takes time. Instead, what we will do is when we come through this door, we're going to jump into this corner and keep jumping all the way across the side of the building, get all the way up here, and run into this door. We crouch jump over here to grab this key. The only reason we are over here is for a particular note that can be found all the way up these stairs. And it's this note on the bed. So when you pick it up, the thing you're looking for is the sentence that says, "I changed our code. It is now 532." That number is different every single time you play through the game. So that is why we come here. However, every time you say new game, every time you start a new game, the 3-digit number is different, but only for that new game. Now that we know the code, once you have seen the code, you're going to want to put down the letter and reload your save at the store. We remember that the code is 532, and we run over here where we will use the code. You're going to want to do it fast so you don't take damage and because we're speedrunning. And we're just run up here. Try to get past this guy. Sometimes you do have to kill him. He is in the way at times, regrettably. You want this key that is hanging there, the skeleton key. Crouch jumped over that for quickness. Crouch jumped over that for quickness. Come back and head up these stairs to head on out. Now we're gonna head back on through here. Once again, jumping alongside this wall and up to this patio. And now instead of going in the door to the left here, we're gonna crouch jump over this and on through, instead of going through the door the way that it wants you to. We're just gonna go straight now into this door. This is where we use that skeleton key that we found. Here, we just want to drop one level first to pick up the shovel. You only want to use the shovel on the one grave in the center at the bottom here. So this grave over here. We use that and it reveals this doll. Once you pick it up, we're going to change over into worlds. Ignore all the enemies in here and make your way all the way back to the top to the door. Now, in order to progress here, you will have to kill every enemy. So that's what we're going to do. These enemies roll, so you want to kind of anticipate where they roll after you do damage to them. They're a little bit tricky when you first fight them, but you get used to them over time. Once they are gone, we can come through this door. And that brings us to this church. If you are hurt, you may once again want to save, but we are not that hurt. We want to get out our pistol. Some people have found that the shotgun is easier for this part. It's good to grab revolver ammo as well. And you want to interact with this and grab the ceremonial knife. And actually now is when we will switch to our pistol. Now, the boss isn't here yet. You can go and position yourself that has the least amount of trees, because those will get in the way for the fight. Once the health bar appears on the top left, you want to look for the eyes. That was some sloppy shooting, but in general, you want to look for the eyes. You can also follow the screaming sometimes. Now, her phases of battle, she moves and does different things, she'll be in different spots and do different kinds of attacks. For the most part, she goes somewhere and then tries to lunge at you. Another one, she'll appear and make this on the ground. Another one is this. For this, you want to get close, but not commit to it, because she'll get you caught in a trap if you stand too close. Same thing with this. You want to get close and not too close. Bad shooting on my part. Right, and there's the eyes. We kill her. Skip this cutscene. Chapter 3 begins. We appear in this church. The most important part of this is to look at this postcard. This gives you the code 52326. Again, much like the last code, this number changes every single time you press new game. So we have to know it is 52326. When you pick this up, look at it only long enough to know what the code is. 52326. Now we're gonna run out and make our way back to where we came from. Switching back to the knife. This time it's the ceremonial blade, since we picked that up. This time we go in here. That is going to cause this fight to occur. You have to kill both enemies in here for the door to open. Now there's some enemies here, just run past them. When you come back, you want to go all the way on this porch and drop over. Jump over that little piece there. Into the blue door. Run past all these enemies. Back to where you had saved. If you're low on health, you may want to save, as it restores all your health. If not, come back here and do another necessary fight to progress the game. Once the fight is over, then you will be back to here. It's faster to run along the snowbank and jump over rather than go down the center and crouch. Once you jump over, then you're kind of home free. You got some enemies in the cave. They can stop you and get you stuck, but for the most part, you should try to run past them. It's bad luck if you do get stuck in a narrow crevice, but like just so. But for the most part, we want to just run past them. It does make a difference whether you are holding down shift while crouching or not. You do move faster while holding down shift. These enemies, unfortunately, are in a narrow place, so we have to kill them. Here is where we will use the dagger. 5, 2, 3, 2, 6. And that unlocks the door. Now we just gotta run past these friends again. Along that path that I did there. That guy, you want to hug this wall and run through this door. And these dudes explode when you get close. If they're going to explode, you will get hit by them, but they do not do a lot of damage. But they leave a gas cloud, which, if you linger in there, will rapidly take your health away. Run past all these enemies. If you get stuck in here, just keep jumping until you are no longer stuck. And then save here. Here is our first out of bounds skip. So we save there. Make sure you do that. Then you jump up here, crouch jump onto this. And then you're gonna jump up to the right and left using your keys, kind of diagonal jump, and then just move along here on this wall. Carefully come this way. When you move forward, you're gonna drop down. But you're still out of bounds. Now this part's tricky, and I may make mistakes here because it is tricky, but you're gonna want to get around this little can. Like that, we fell. When you fall, you just want to reload your save and come back and try it again. But hopefully you don't fall. That's the jump that you can make there, just right on into this little out of bounds platform. And now this is where things get tricky. Now you can interact with the save if you go out of bounds on this side. But as you can see, the world hasn't fully loaded around us. We want the world to load so that we can utilize the out of bounds area to get to where we need. We do this by trying to use our momentum and saving as such. Once you jump through, you want your falling momentum to carry you inbounds, but not so much that you're completely inbounds. If you do it right, the rest of the world will load in. Just like that. Once we have redone our load there, now the world has loaded in. What we're gonna wanna do is come in through here to grab the assault rifle on the ground. Grab that assault rifle and the machine gun ammo and come through this door. I'm gonna follow this route here. We want to coax that guy out, so we're going to hang out in this corner until he has enough room to get around. And then we're going to run around him to grab these bones. And then we just jump off the side and go back where we came from. Immediately turn left here. Start skipping the cutscene when you get through. Open this door. Keep your assault rifle out. You can save yourself some damage here. Now you can run past these guys and tank the damage. It's up to you. These dudes I tend to let explode so that they don't explode in here while we try to do this skip. Now, this skip involves jumping on this and then crouch jumping up here. And then you can crouch to get forward or jump up. One of them will work, but you see there's a save point on the out of bounds on this side. What we want to do is jump down from here. And as we are falling, we want to grab the save, and then we will reload it after we got it. It takes a bit of practice, but you can get it pretty reliably. And now we've skipped. It's a small skip. Saves only about 15 to 20 seconds. But you come in through this door. And we're going to go up to this gravesite to put the bones down. Sometimes the trigger takes a little bit, but hopefully it just happens immediately. You have to kill all these enemies to get what we need here. Once you have that, you just turn over here, grab the relic on that. And now we're back to this world. Turn left here. Now you're probably going to want to do a safety save here. Now we just come through with the crouch there. Enemies will spawn in this room behind us, but we're leaving, so it's fine. We go past that dude. And now we're going to attempt this again. Same thing as last time. We're just going to try to do this, but this time we have to be a little bit more careful. We want to land right on the edge while catching the spawn. Right on the edge of that room, which we can't see. This one's a little bit trickier, but it can be done reliably. Now that we have successfully done it, you can see that the world has loaded in. Now, the fastest way to get where we need to go is to jump back, crouch down so that we can get under that, and then we're going to want to jump up again and be here and run along this wall just out of bounds, but with a slight preference to the right side. Now we want to come in here. Again, slight preference to the right side here. You'll come to a place where you want to jump. Just jump and keep holding W and it should let you through, maybe with a little micro adjustment to the right or left. And you come to this wall and you just want to run through, drop down, come through this door with the glowing symbols on it, and run at this altar. Now with this, you want to switch to your assault rifle. reload if you are missing some shots, and get past these enemies. The reason we reload there is because we have this fight coming up, and it takes almost a full clip to do it. Once he spawns, just unload, and he will die. Once he's dead, just come through this door, chapter 4 begins. I'm gonna run past this snowbank up to this wall. Go ahead and switch to whatever weapon that you're comfortable using in a fight. And we come to this skip up here, the mine skip. We save there. This is one of the most important skips in the game, and it is very difficult to do, very difficult to master. Once we have saved, run through here, and we're gonna start jumping at this rock, just spamming our jump until we get to the top of the rock. Then we're gonna jump to get ourselves out of bounds. We jump forward to run up here and then jump down. And we're gonna want to, at this point, come to a point where we can just nudge into the wall. And then you want to run along this. And then save. And reload the save. And that puts you on this out of bounds. Now, once again, using that method of momentum, we want to spawn in the whole world, not just this one. This is the hardest part of the skip, and it takes a while to master, and I haven't got it consistent yet, but I'm sure there's a way to. So, what you want to do is use your momentum. On the falling momentum, that is where you activate the save, and you want to land in between the worlds. And that's what it looks like when we have it. Both worlds will be visible from one side to another. Once you have that, you're going to want to come back to the big rock, jump on up, and then you are going to want to come alongside here. And we're going to want to fall a long, long ways. We want to fall on the opposite side of this wall, more the out of bounds side. And then come back in bounds and land there and use the door. And that skips the entire chapter. Now we have this boss fight. He's just going to be crawling at you. Nothing can hurt him except for dynamite. So you pick that up. And when he gets close, you want to throw dynamite at him until he dies. And the tricky part about this is not hitting any of the obstacles like the pendulum of doom there. And of course, maintaining a safe distance while picking up the dynamite on the ground. You can see his health bar lowering. I assume that what gives him more damage than others is getting it to land in his mouth, but the hitboxes on him are weird, and it's hard to tell. Once you have him, you want to go back to his body and pick up this on the ground, right-click through the scene. That starts chapter 5. Run straight ahead. And keep running straight and on through this lighthouse here. Up through here straight, use that, and then turn directly around. Puzzle here is the first one, the fourth one, the fifth one. Go around those little bees. And then we pretty much just follow the path from here. We do have to do the cabinet skip one more time. Saving here is a safety save since we have to use that skip once more. Here we go again. Once again, jump up here, get to this point, run this way, a bit of a preference. So, I'm actually glad this happened. If you fall down here, it's not the end of the world. You want to run mostly in bounds, because if you go to the door, you will just fall into the world. So mostly in bounds there, and then just come back here, and just keep on going straight. Now that we're back, instead we will run through this door and straight. Jump on over this, through here, straight ahead, and now to the right, where we now use this. You can ignore all the flying enemies out here for the most part. It's unlikely they will do anything to you. Come through this door, and you're going to want to grab this key from the hanging man here. Once you have the key, turn back around. Back through the door, and now through this door.
Are you ready to die, William? What did this world ever do to deserve such sacrifice?
Now you want to look at this book. You pick it up, and if you were unable to read what it said there, we'll have another chance to look at it. But ideally, you want to read what the book says when you pick it up on the ground right there. But it is understandable if you can't because you're taking too much damage from the monsters. Once you come through here, just turn left through this door, and into here, pull up your documents, go to the one on the right, and you see that it says holy. Once again, it is a code that changes every time you play, and you want to type in holy. Once you have that, right-click to open the door, and run at this angle at the altar. At a different angle, it could take longer for this to activate. For this part, it's a lot of falling down holes and ignoring enemies, and crouching down through these. It's a pattern that you just commit to memory eventually. And now you see that mark on the door. That means everything in the room must die before it opens. Now these spawns are consistent. They always spawn in the same place every time you have this fight. So you can anticipate where things are going to be. Once you kill that one, run through this door. Run past these enemies, and once again we fall down holes. Now we have some platforming. Run past that guy there. Into this hole, and once again, everything in the room must die before we can go on. Once you have done that, you just come back on through the door, run past these guys, and platform. Go on through, and drop down, some more platforming. That platforming is a lot easier since we have infinite adrenaline. It's pretty weird without it. Now that we've come through here, we have a save in the back. Don't necessarily have to do it. There's revolver ammo there and shotgun ammo there. I find the revolver is the best weapon to fight the final boss coming up. But you can use whatever you are comfortable with. If you're low on health, you can go ahead and do a save, or what's faster is open up your inventory. Just click here. Those little health kits restore quite a bit of your health. Once you're ready, you just want to look at this postcard, and click through it, and keep right-clicking. This is the best boss attack because you can get 3 shots off while he's there. You want to shoot at the head, ideally at the little green sphere in there. And this is a good one too, comes right at you, and you can hit the tail on the way out. And then you just click through, and you just run straight away to that little mirror on the left side of the door. And once the cutscene starts, that is the end of the run. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you will have a very, very fun time running the game. Thank you for watching.